Good morning and welcome to the National Evaluation System for Health Technology, or NEST, Collaborative Community Think Tank on Device Identification and Real-World Evidence. My name is Sandra Siami. I am the Senior Vice President at the Medical Device Innovation Consortium, or MDIC, and I head NEST. Next slide. We have a great afternoon planned for today. All the speakers and panelists are live. I'm going to start by speaking a little bit about NEST and the use of real-world evidence in medical device evaluation. Daniel Canos from the Food and Drug Administration, Centers of Devices and Radiological Health, CDRH, Office of Product Evaluation and Quality, OPEC. We're going to throw lots of acronyms at you. Office of Clinical Evidence and Analysis, OCEA. We'll speak a little bit about collaborative communities. We'll then, we have provided the opportunity for audience questions and answers, beginning with the session on FDA perspectives on device identification. That's going to be presented by Indira Kanduri from FDA, CDRH, OPEC. All those acronyms, Division of Market Intelligence. We'll then move on to Sanket Dhruva from the University of California in San Francisco and Natalia Wilson from Arizona State University. They're going to provide a research update on behalf of the project team on the uptake of unique device identifiers, or UDI, in health systems. We're then going to pivot to a panel discussion, beginning with the session on challenges and barriers to device identification. That's going to be moderated by Terry Reed, who is Director of Partner Relationships at Symmetric Health Solutions. And then a panel discussion on short-term and long-term goals, moderated by Lena Cordy-Bancroft from the British Standards Institute and Mike Schiller from the Association of Healthcare Resource and Materials Management. Woo. So we have a jam-packed day and really thrilled for it and happy that you're here. Next slide. So a little bit about NEST, the National Evaluation System for Health Technology. And it's really a community. It's a community of diverse stakeholders in the medical device ecosystem that are interested in leveraging real-world evidence to accelerate patient access to safe and effective medical technologies. Our mission as a community is that we're passionately committed to transforming the way medical device technologies are tested, approved, and monitored. We envision a world in which people really are empowered to make informed medical choices that enable them to live their lives to the fullest extent possible. Next slide. NEST has 3 core initiatives and participates in other programs that facilitate the use of real-world evidence in medical devices. But our first major initiative is our research program. This is where we are building and testing the use of real-world data, not only in regulatory decision-making, but also for coverage, reimbursement, technology assessments, clinical decision-making, and such. We are building a centralized and scalable system for interoperability and providing real-world evidence standards for things like research methods and data quality, really answering the question of how real-world data can be used throughout the total product lifecycle, from first clinical use to sunsetting of a device, with evidence that really is, and you'll hear the term, fit for purpose. Our next initiative is building a first-of-its-kind active surveillance system for medical devices in order to detect and identify potential safety signals, as well as signal refinement, but also provide that active surveillance of both known and emerging signals. This is a cloud-based system that's intended to be used not only by the FDA, but other stakeholders as well, such as the medical device industry. And finally, our last major initiative is that in 2019, NEST was the first collaborative community to be recognized by the FDA bringing together these diverse stakeholders to identify common needs and pathways for solutions. And this is where NEST really is a community, and the community is passionate and engaged. And it's under this collaborative community that we're discussing device identification today. Next slide. And all of this work, the programs, the initiatives, all of this are really to enable providing that quality evidence by design. The system is being built to be able to curate the right data sources, to catalyze a transparent and traceable real-world data provenance that leads to actionable evidence, and to create a central and scalable system architecture for interoperability. Next slide. And so the purpose of this think tank, the medical device market is currently experiencing exponential growth. And there is a growing reliance on data and a need to improve supply chain strategies. So as such, a critical item in the use of real-world evidence in medical technologies is device identification. Our panelists will touch on key items requiring that efficient and standardized device identification relating to interoperability between systems, facilitating safety surveillance, and augmenting clinical trials. Next slide. All the initiatives related to medical devices and real-world evidence involve really a complex system of stakeholders that we are engaging today in this think tank under the collaborative community. We're hoping to really facilitate ongoing conversations with key regulators like FDA and the Office of the National Coordinator for Health Information Technology, or ONC, as well as the medical device industry, health systems, patient advocates, medical societies, and others. Next slide. So I want to welcome you again for this great think tank and introduce our next speaker. Daniel Canos is the director of OSEA, again, those acronyms, and which is in OPEC, the Office of Product Evaluation and Quality within CDRH. He's going to provide an overview of collaborative communities in general and their role in the medical device ecosystem. So Daniel, over to you.